It's only been a few weeks since Jodie was thrown out of the Platt household after attempting to flirt with her sister Shona's husband, David Platt. Luckily for her, she's already managed to find another vulnerable target in Daniel Osbourne. Daniel has been struggling ever since learning that his girlfriend Megan had been grooming one of his students, Will Driscoll. The troubled teacher was later suspended from Weatherfield High after snapping at Hope Stape when she made a cruel comment about his connection to the abuser. Ken Barlow and the rest of Daniel's relatives believe he's taking some time away in the Lake District to recover. In reality, Daniel has been hiding away in his flat, drinking heavily while sinking deeper into depression as Ken cares for Birdie. When Jodie unexpectedly turned up and let herself into the flat, she agreed to keep Daniel's secret, as long as she could stay there for a while. At first, the arrangement appeared to suit them both, and it even looked as though a romance might begin between the unlikely duo. However, things changed when Daniel decided Birdie should move back home and informed Jodie she would need to leave. Instead of accepting it, Jodie came up with a revenge plan. She secretly created an online account called Truth Teller and began spreading false rumors suggesting Daniel had known about Megan's abuse all along. Jodie quickly became Weatherfield's own version of Regina George. Her cruel lies soon spiraled dangerously out of control when Daniel is targeted by masked teenagers in tomorrow's episode. The gang throws paint over him and records his furious reaction on their phones. With Daniel being attacked in public and Birdie facing bullying at school, Jodie finally begins to panic and deletes the fake post from her account. But the damage has already been done, and Daniel is soon set to uncover the shocking truth about Jodie's secret identity. As Daniel nervously prepares to return to work, Birdie tries to cheer him up with a thoughtful, world's best teacher mug. Sadly, the touching gift doesn't survive long once Daniel arrives at school. Lily Platt deliberately crashes into him, smashing the mug to pieces. Completely heartbroken, Daniel breaks down in tears while Jake Windus films the humiliating moment on his phone. Unable to cope, Daniel later heads to the Rovers hoping to drown his sorrows, only to be refused service at the bar. To make matters even worse, he later spots Megan in the precinct. Consumed by anger, Daniel confronts her publicly and blames her for destroying his life. But could his rage push him too far? At his lowest point, Daniel checks his laptop and notices more hateful messages online. Then Jodie accidentally makes a careless comment that finally exposes her as the person behind the trolling campaign. Speaking recently, actor Rob Mallard hinted at the fallout from Jodie's betrayal. He sees it as yet another huge betrayal. Deep down, he always knew he probably shouldn't have trusted her, but there was still a tiny bit of hope that she might be different. After everything else he's gone through, discovering that Jodie has also deceived him is devastating. He continued, "I think this could completely destroy Daniel's ability to trust women. Apart from Sinead, most of his relationships have ended badly, and Jodie may have pushed him over the edge. She should definitely be worried now." It seems Jodie may finally have gone too far this time. Coronation Street confirms shocking Brody arrest in Theo mystery. Next week in Coronation Street, Brody Michaelis becomes the center of a major police investigation after fresh evidence connects him to suspicious events surrounding Theo Silverton's death. But is the troubled teenager truly involved in something sinister, or is there an innocent explanation behind it all? D.S. Connor Swain makes a dramatic move when forensic results reveal Brody's fingerprints covering Todd Grimshaw's missing phone, the same mobile that disappeared on the night Theo died. Sally and Tim Metcalf are left stunned as officers lead Brody away for questioning, and from the outside the evidence against him appears extremely damaging. The drama begins when Todd visits Summer Spellman in prison, where she remains the leading suspect in the case. Feeling hopeless about her future, Summer shocks Todd by admitting she plans to plead guilty to manslaughter. A Weatherfield insider explains, "Summer is already thinking ahead to the trial and believes admitting responsibility could help her receive a lighter sentence." Theo caused chaos for so many people on the street, and she simply wants the nightmare to end. Lisa reminds Todd that Theo's former partner Danielle has also been questioned, meaning there are still several possible suspects, but Summer remains behind bars for now. Soon afterwards, Todd asks Lisa whether the police can finally return his phone. He hasn't seen it since Theo grabbed it from him on the night of his death, stopping Todd from leaving for Thailand to reunite with his family. However, Lisa leaves Todd speechless when she reveals the police never actually had possession of the device. The mystery deepens further when the phone later turns up in a pawn shop. The mobile is immediately sent for forensic testing because investigators believe it could hold vital evidence, the insider continues. Once the analysis is complete, Lisa wastes no time arresting Brody after his fingerprints are discovered all over the handset. It's possible Brody only stole the phone for himself, but there's also a chance the discovery could connect him directly to Theo's murder. DC Kit Green watches the arrest unfold with growing concern, especially given the possibility that his own son could somehow be linked to the crime. Now the big question is, how will Brody explain the evidence against him? Coronation Street's Daniel heads for heartbreak as he ignores major warning about Jodie. Tonight's episode of Coronation Street saw Daniel Osbourne receive a serious warning regarding his growing bond with Jodie Ramsey. After noticing how close the pair had become, David Platt tried to alert Daniel to Jodie's manipulative side. However, with Daniel still unaware that Jodie is secretly behind the cruel online abuse targeting him, he brushed off David's concerns completely. The question now is whether Daniel will uncover the truth before things spiral even further out of control. During the episode, Daniel wandered around Weatherfield looking miserable as he struggled to cope with both his suspension from work and the hateful comments being posted online. He admitted that he had purposely left his phone at home so he wouldn't have to read more criticism linked to his relationship with Megan Walsh. Later, Daniel accompanied Jodie to the bistro so he could apologize to Nick Tilsley after wrongly accusing him and David of trolling him online. Once the misunderstanding was sorted out, Jodie cheekily asked for a table and announced it was supposedly her birthday. "Do I get a free bottle of cava or a slice of cake?" she joked after seeing Nick hand out freebies earlier in the week. Daniel was surprised to discover it was Jodie's birthday, especially when she revealed that none of her family had celebrated with her. Jodie claimed Shona had forgotten the occasion and insisted that things between herself and David were still tense. Before long, the bistro staff and customers gathered to sing Happy Birthday, while Nick brought out a cake for the birthday girl. But the cheerful atmosphere quickly fell apart when Shona suddenly arrived and exposed Jodie's lie by revealing her real birthday wasn't until December. Trying to laugh it off, Jodie apologized to Daniel and admitted she had only invented the story for a bit of fun and the chance to get some free treats. Fortunately for her, Daniel found the whole situation amusing rather than suspicious. As Jodie and Shona headed to the bar for more drinks, David took the opportunity to quietly warn Daniel about getting too close to Jodie. He described her as trouble and urged him to be cautious around her. Unfortunately, Daniel had only heard Jodie's side of the conflict involving David, so he completely dismissed the warning. Instead, he became convinced there was some kind of secret attraction between David and Jodie, leaving David utterly confused. "Come on, you don't need to pretend with me," Daniel joked with a wink. "I already know there's something going on between the two of you. Don't worry, your secret's safe." Now viewers are left wondering whether Jodie will continue manipulating her way deeper into Daniel's life, or if he will finally realize she cannot be trusted. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX.